everybody. Welcome back to Brain Dump, the podcast in which I spout nonsense for about an hour. Really just an hour. I was going to say like an hour and a half, but no, that's not true. Coming to you from my house that is currently 61 degrees right now. So I am bundled the fuck up. I have thermal leggings on. I have fuzzy socks on. I have 2 layers on. Really just a t-shirt and a hoodie on top. So I kind of just look like a floating head right now if you are watching the podcast. This episode is gonna be a kind of everywhere, mainly because I don't give a fuck. That's what a brain dump should be like, I feel like. But, I'm going to be going over so many different things, and I gotta rapid fire it because I am actually recording this episode today on the day that it's supposed to be posted. And I'm also going back home today, so I kind of am on a time crunch. I kind of have to get this up and going and out of the way today, in the next hour or so. I also haven't had breakfast yet. I told myself I was going to have breakfast when I finished recording this. So if you hear me complain about being hungry, it's because guess what? I fucking am. Yeah. I kind of tried to change, if you're watching the podcast, I tried to change the angle in which the camera is set up so that you kind of see more of what I'm working with on the wall. But it's also 10 in the morning, so the sun is at full force, and I do have rainbow privacy window clings, so there's a lot of rainbows going on on the wall right now, and kind of on my face too. So if you see that for the majority of this video, I'm sorry. It's a vibe though. I fuck with it. Do I look like a floating head right now? Kind of. I hate it. I'm just if I look at my phone a lot in this, it's because I have it set up to where I can see the camera from my phone, and I'm a fucking narcissist, and I love to look at myself, especially when it looks like I'm a floating head. I'm sure you could understand where I'm coming from with this. But yeah, this week on Brain Dump, we are going through my trash. And by going through my trash, I mean we are going through my empties. Empties, wow, she's so trendy and awesome and cool and with it and hip. Yeah, no big deal. Pretty much discovered yesterday that apparently TikTok is for real shutting down, for real, they mean it this time, apparently. We'll see. But the last day that TikTok will be in operation is apparently January 19th. So, originally I had been saving all of these empties to show on TikTok or on YouTube. I don't know. I've just been hoarding trash essentially, with the hopes of displaying it on the internet somewhere. And if TikTok is for real shutting down on the 19th, that gives me less than 10 days to blow up on TikTok, and I just don't think that'll be possible. So I will do it on this podcast instead, because why the fuck not? It feels like an interesting concept to listen to if you are not watching. I will try to describe everything as best as I can, but before we even get into that, I have things that I want to go over since the last episode, which, speaking of, really happy that everyone else enjoyed my revival of Brain Dump episode. It got 75 views on YouTube, which may sound like nothing to everyone, but in the past, I think the most views I had ever gotten on a Brain Dump episode on YouTube were they ranged, I think the most might have been 40, 50 views. So to get 75, oh, that's big for me. And I'll take that win. It's about the little wins that you have to celebrate, So, this is what I have written down in terms of episode 28, how this episode's about to go down, okay? So for Christmas, And also, I have been asking for this, weirdly, for longer than this past year, like since I've been asking for this before 2024. A 23andMe test, because no, I don't want to give the government my DNA. I kind of don't give a fuck if they have it or not, because I am literally a citizen here. Like, they have my social security, they have all my health information. Like, to me, my DNA is one less thing to give a fuck about. I just want to know where the fuck my ancestors are from, all right? Okay? And it's not just like oh my God, like, girl, are you not white? Like, what fucking, like, interests you so much in wanting to know about your, like, history and your ancestry? Well, okay, for starters, I am Cuban American, born here, obviously. That's what the American part of that, those two words would be. My parents are both full Cuban, born in Cuba, come from a long, long line of Cubans. My dad's side of the family is quite mixed. He himself is mixed, but like a diluted mixed, because his dad, so my grandpa, was also, I believe, mixed. And then my grandma on my dad's side was white. But from before that time, so my great grandfather, grandma, I don't know who they are, what they look like, where they're from. I know nothing of them. I only have one grandma alive out of my entire family. Like, on my dad's side, grandma, grandpa dead. I think my dad's grandma, or my grandma on my dad's side passed, I believe, before I was even alive. So I never met her. I did meet my dad's dad. I think he died like pretty early into my life. I want to say definitely before I turned 10 years old. And then my mom's dad, so my grandpa on my mom's side, never met him. I'm pretty sure he died definitely before I was born. And that leaves us with the only relative that is alive, my mom's mom, my grandma. She's been alive for as long as I can remember. Because she's not dead, so I mean that'll do it for sure. I believe she's like in her 70s, and she like spends half of her time of the year in Cuba and then the other half in the States. So she's like one of my relatives that still lives in Cuba. Most of my family has moved. Like, most of my immediate, like, closer family is in the United States, but I still do have relatives, like cousins and shit, like second cousins and things like that live in Cuba. I also do have family that is Cuban, born in Cuba, but do not live in Cuba, but they live in other countries, like in Europe and shit. So I'm kind of just really overall interested in seeing what percentages I am, because I know for a fact I'm definitely going to be some percentage like Spanish or European in some way, and then some amount African, most likely. But I want that on paper, and I want more specific percentages. So really, that is, to sum it up, the whole reason I wanted to get a 23andMe test done. And also the specific kit that I chose has the kind of like genealogy of like what diseases you might be more susceptible to getting in the future, or like what's in your kind of just like genetic history, pretty much. I believe so. And yeah, I just want to know like if I have the potential of having like dementia or Alzheimer's in the future, or some cancers, because I know for sure, like on my mom's side of the family, my mom's aunt, so my great aunt, has had cancer. She did beat it, but yeah, I'm curious about what the future holds for me health-wise, you know? So that's what I wanted that for, and they were having so many deals. They always have deals when it comes to like the end of the year, like Black Friday, holidays, whatever, where they'll like sell their kits for half off. So every time I saw that it was half off, I'd be like, "Mom, look at what the fuck is half off. Like, you gotta get it for me." And my parents want to live vicariously through me too, so they also were like, "You know what? Fuck it, let's get it for you." So that was one of my Christmas presents. I only got like 3 Christmas presents from my family, and then most of my little fun stuff I got from my friends, my roommates, because we always do a yearly gift exchange where we kind of set a budget of X amount of dollars, and we're like, this, and that is what I want. Like, here's the list of things. You don't have to get it all, but this is what I want. And we usually get each other what we want. So it kind of works out if we don't get what we wanted for Christmas, or it's just like, it feels more special because at least growing up for me, Christmas, I, for the most part, would get what I wanted. But there have been years where I just get like the randomest things, or like things that I kind of don't give a fuck about, but I have to pretend that I love because it's Christmas and you don't want to be an asshole. Or I'll just get money and then I don't end up getting exactly what I want. I just end up buying whatever's on my mind in that moment. So, anyway, to put all that aside, I got an Ancestry 23andMe test for Christmas. It was one of the things I got for Christmas. I did the test the 25th of December, and I literally put it in the mailbox same night so that it could be taken away the 26th, because the sooner you get it out of the way, the better, because it takes a couple of weeks for them to obviously not only just receive it, but then also test it, do what they got to do to get the results. First off, I just want to say, if you get one of these 23andMe tests, get ready to fucking spit, all right? Because you're gonna be spitting like a good amount. I personally struggle with coming up with, it sounds so fucking like TMI, but I'm usually pretty good on saliva. But because of my medications that I'm taking right now, one of the symptoms is dry mouth. So it kind of takes me a little bit longer to produce like a normal amount of saliva. So I kind of struggle a little bit in that sense, because you're not supposed to drink or eat 30 minutes before you start spitting into the tube. And I try to look online, like, do they consider water part of like the drinking portion? Because sometimes for like medical tests, it'll be like, don't eat or drink, but you can drink water. So I had to deep dive because I was getting mixed results. Like 14 years ago on Twitter, someone asked 23andMe this, and they were like, yeah, you can drink water, no problem. But then when you look up on their website, they're like, no drinking or eating. They don't specify if water's okay. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to chance it. I just won't drink water. So it was really fucking hard to produce a good amount of saliva with no water previously 30 minutes before. It was not my favorite, but it got done. Don't you worry. It got sent, and they received it, I believe, literally like within the first couple days of 2025. And right now they're just, if I go on the app, it just says that they're, I think just, they actually completed my, okay. So, registered the 25th, arrived at their lab actually before the year even ended, the 31st. They started prepping it and extracting it. It was actually completed recently, because literally last night when I was going through the app, not all of this was filled out. Now it is, which is awesome. I was officially genotyped and reviewed the 9th, which was yesterday, and they're currently computing my results, and the results should be expected around the 21st of January to the 4th of February. And I just wanted everyone to know that whole long-winded explanation was because I am going to discuss my results on this podcast. It's the only place I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to, the second I hear about the results are ready, bro, I'm hopping on this chair, turning on this microphone and camera, and I am getting ready to tell everybody and discover together what I am percentage-wise. I'm not even telling my family or my friends first. I'm going to tell the internet first. This fucking podcast first. So just get excited for that. Because I'm pumped. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start off my year knowing this information about myself. It's super exciting. Anyways, that was like one point out of all of the things that I wrote down here that I wanted to talk about. I will get to Letterboxd recap because I also haven't even talked about it online. If you don't know Letterboxd, this app where you can rate and log movies that you've ever watched. I've been using it since I think 2018. Every year you get an email of like all of the, like, it's basically a summary of all of the movies you watched the previous year, how many hours that totaled up to, what your most, like, the genre that you most geared towards, the director that you watched the most, the actor that you watched the most, things of that nature. And you get it emailed to you every year. This year, they dropped it the 8th of January, again, during this week. And I did look immediately when I saw the email because I am a fucking freak and I wanted to know. So I'll be going over that in a moment. I just wanted to go over these other points really quick because they're like really not going to take me very long to talk about. But I wrote that I'm lacking as fuck on watching any movies this year, and this is true. I've only watched 2 movies so far. I'm doing terrible watching movies, and the 2 movies that I've seen, which I'm gonna go over in a second, are both sequels, which fucking pisses me off. Like, what do you mean the 2 movies you've seen so far in the year 2025 are sequels? And by the way, they are not good. Really, really makes you think, like, damn, like, sometimes sequels are better than the original, or just like they can stand up to the original. These 2 sequels that I watched so far this year don't even hold a candle to the original, and I can't believe people greenlit this project. Like, they should have never greenlit this. The 2 movies that I've seen so far this year are 28 Weeks Later, the second movie in the whole 28 XYZ sequel, trilogy, anthology, whatever the fuck you want to call it, series. And then Sex and the City 2, the movie. I have so many complaints about both of them. First of all, Sex and the City 2, the movie, please don't ever fucking watch it if you have the opportunity. If you have seen the first Sex and the City movie, that's it. You don't need to see the other one, I promise you, because it is not worth it. I fucking hated it. It was bad, and my God, was it racist. I can't believe so many eyes saw this project and were like, yes, let's send that out into the world. The only good thing about the movie was Liza Minnelli being there, and that was it. That's where the good parts end, because they go to Abu Dhabi and then they become fucking racist. To sum it up for you. They do some things that are quite absurd, and I can't believe, like, you can really tell what time of, like, the time period that this was released in was crazy. And they played Empire State of Mind twice in this movie. The beginning of the movie and then, like, during the movie. Which is, like, there's other New York City songs out there. You didn't have to pick Empire State of Mind, but yet they did. So, yeah. Did not like that. I just didn't fuck with this movie. It was not good. And then the 28 Weeks Later, oh my God, I already had low expectations going into it because of Jeremy Renner being in this movie. But God, there's so many, like, parts of this movie that pissed me the fuck off. The CGI in this movie, terrible. Did the fucking person, like, editing this movie learn how to do CGI the day of? Because that's what it felt like. Holy fucking shit. It was bad. There was a scene in the movie specifically that reminded me of the CGI that they used in the Scorpion King for the Mummy movies. Like, if you've ever seen the second, I believe it's the second movie in the Mummy series, the CGI they used on The Rock was terrible. Terrible. It stays ingrained in my mind just in the same way that this part of the 28 Weeks Later movie stayed ingrained in my mind. If you were wondering specifically what I'm talking about, I believe, from what I can remember, the CGI that I'm talking about is kind of towards the end of the movie, and it is... Oh my god, my phone almost fell. It is when... Okay. It's when... I believe, like, they're setting fire to the entire city, and you're just, like, watching people burn, and it's just really, really bad CGI. It's, like... No. Actually, not even that. It's, like, at a point where they're in, like, a kind of almost fair escaping people. They're in a field, and there's a bunch of zombies coming, and this helicopter's involved, and my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. I'm thinking about it again now. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to think about that scene ever again. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Holy crap. But I'm really, spoiler alert, I'm really glad Jeremy Renner died. It took him almost the entire movie, but damn, that man died. Hell yeah. Burned alive, even. Sick as fuck. But yeah, a lot of plot holes, a lot of random ass choices were made in that movie that were not good. The two main characters, the children, hated them. I fucking hated them. I never rooted for them once, actually. And I just can't believe how long the dad was alive for. The fact that he lived for that fucking long. There were so many times where he could have died, and then he didn't. What the fuck? If you've seen 28 Weeks Later, maybe you can agree. If you haven't and you're like, okay, what the fuck are you going on about? I'm so confused. Like, everything you're saying is weird. Please do yourself a favor and watch it. Like, watch the first one. Watch 28 Days Later, then watch 28 Weeks Later, and then come back to me. And tell me you agree, because there's no way you don't. Another thing I wrote, I got a hair trim. I can't tell if I like it, because when I got it trimmed, I got it blown out, so it looked a lot longer than it feels currently, but I went into it and I was like, hey, can you trim up these dead ends I have in my layers, because the, like, longest layers of my hair are just, like, stringy and getting tangled literally the same day that I'd wash my hair. Like, they're dead. It's time for a trim up, you know? And I wanted to add some more layers to my hair and whatnot, some more face framing layers. I never actually got to see the floor after he cut it, but I know he cut a lot. He said that he wasn't trying to, like, give me such a big, like, haircut. It was truly just that, like, a lot of my ends were so slimy and just dead and gummy that he was like, I have to cut these off. So I was like, that's okay. Like, it's just hair, grows back. And I hadn't gotten a haircut since August, so I understood, like, what was at stake. And so my hair, you can't even really see it, but it's like, it feels so awkward length right now, as it is curly. When it was blown out and, like, kind of straightened-ish, it looked a lot longer than it feels. Obviously, they're two different fucking hair types, Nicole. Like, of course it's gonna feel weird, but it does feel a lot shorter, and I don't know how to feel about it. It's such an awkward length, but my hair is so curly and healthy and beautiful and shiny and awesome. So, on one hand, I'm upset at how awkwardly the awkward length that it's in, because it's kind of like not even a medium length or like a short, like, to the shoulders length. It's kind of just, like, in between the two. And I always find that to be such an awkward hair length. Hopefully it will be growing out soon and it will be beautiful and still maintain the curls, you know? I have an issue lately where I can't seem to go to bed on time or early. I've been falling asleep or getting to bed at midnight, and I have to wake up at, like, 7 in the morning, usually every day for work, and it's kind of, like, really fucking me up. I know that's like really nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, some people don't go to bed until, like, 1 or 2 in the morning, and they have to wake up at 6 in the morning. But it just really is, like, sucking bad lately because I think it's just so cold outside that it makes it even harder to get out of bed. So I've been kind of struggling with one of my ins of like only being in bed for 5 minutes after I've woken up. It's just so damn fucking cold in this house. Why would I want to get up and get ready? You know, I'm going to be freezing. And one of my last points is I tried the pink Red Bull. If you have not even heard of this pink Red Bull, they're making it a permanent flavor, apparently. It is not like associated with any season because I know that in the past they've had their winter edition, their summer edition. This is just a pink Red Bull, and the flavor is wild berries. Following that up with what was previously new, which was the winter edition, their vanilla berry, I hated it. It's just nothing to write home about. Like, it's quite forgettable. I don't like it. It kind of tastes like weirdly like a candy from like your childhood, but also kind of so did this one that I tried, like this pink Red Bull. Wild berry, not a fan. Maybe if I had more of it, like if I try it more consistently, I'll fuck around with it. But I haven't fucked with a new flavor that they've come out with since their summer edition. And before that, it was their winter pear cinnamon flavor. That fucking hit. That was one of my favorite, all-time favorite Red Bull flavors. And I really didn't think I was going to fuck with it because the idea of like a pear and cinnamon Red Bull, like cinnamon being in a Red Bull sounds crazy. But you know what? It fucking worked. And I'm so sad I've not seen any since. Like, they're never coming back. I'm convinced. The summer one, though, I think they got rid of the dragon fruit Red Bull to keep the summer Red Bull because it no longer says summer edition. It just says green, which just means they fucking got rid of the dragon fruit one, which I did like. I fucked with the dragon fruit one. If I had to tell you guys what my favorite Red Bull flavor is, it's gonna be coconut berry. And then after that, I actually fucking hated blueberry and Juneberry, but I've kind of come around to them. I do fuck with Juneberry. I used to really, like, my favorite was the yellow one, the tropical, but I have since changed my mind. It's not that high on the list. I don't really go for it very often. I either go for Juneberry or coconut berry. And then on the off chance I don't feel like fucking with either of those, I'll do the green one, the elderflower fucking Karuba, whatever the fuck. And then strawberry apricot, and then tropical, and then vanilla berry and wild berry. That's the order they'd be in. I'm trying to think if I forgot any other ones, but if I did, it's because they're not memorable to me at all, and I don't get them as often. I get a Red Bull almost every time I'm at work, so most days I drink a Red Bull, unfortunately, which is so bad for you, and I know it's so bad for you, but it's only because at work there's a Starbucks, but I don't fucking support Starbucks, plus their coffee isn't even that good, and I could make myself coffee at home on the way to work, like so I could drink it on the way to work, but it's just not the same. Like, I want it in that moment right now, like at 10 a.m., you know? So that's why I end up getting a Red Bull, because there's no other coffee place near me that I could just go on my 15 and grab. I'm not going to DoorDash that shit. Like, I could theoretically drive, but why would I even risk it? Because I probably won't even be back in time. Or I'd lose my parking spot. Like, I value my parking spot at work so much. When it's taken, I feel like I'm going to have a bad day. It's just the start of a bad day to me, personally. Okay. I'm going to get into the fucking Letterboxd recap really quick, and then I'm finally going to get into what we're actually supposed to be talking about. Like a half hour later, I'm finally getting into what I actually came here to talk about. But yeah, Letterboxd review time, guys. My 2024 in film by the fucking numbers. Okay, so let's start off with number of films logged. This year, I logged so many films. Films logged 140. Have I done better in past years? Of course. I had no goal for myself going into 2024 with the amount of movies I wanted to watch. I just watched movies for the fucking sake of it, because in the past, I loved to dog on myself for not watching a certain amount of movies. One year, my only goal the entire year was to watch 200 movies, and I didn't even get to 200, I think, until, like, the year was almost over. Like, it was getting down to the wire, and that's when I finally got to 200 movies. Take a little water break. So, after, like, those years where I just made myself watch so many movies, I've just come to the consensus that, like, it's better to watch movies when you don't have a number associated with it, because it's just not fun. I'll watch a movie when I wanna, not because I need to hit a certain amount by the end of the year. Does it feel good to know that you've watched over a certain amount of movies in a year? Yes. It does feel good, weirdly, but I just try not to think about it too much anymore because I don't like pressuring myself to watch movies if I don't wanna. Plus, it's also hard to just juggle watching a movie with, like, whatever the fuck else is going on in my day or my life. Like, if I'm hanging out with my friends, I'm not going to watch a movie unless we go out to the movie theater or we, like, specifically plan a day. And that's been really hard lately with all of our schedules, like, coming together. So I can understand that. And then sometimes I'm just really not in a mood. Like, I can't find a movie to watch. Lately, I just have this issue where I cannot find a fucking movie to watch. There's so many platforms, so many options, and yet I still can't figure out what movie I want to watch. And I don't do watch lists. I just watch whatever comes to mind in the moment. Or if I get recommended a movie to watch, I'll watch it for the most part. But lately, I'm just, like, in a slump where I can't figure out what I want to watch. I don't know what I want to watch. I haven't even gone to the movie theaters yet. And we're, like, in double digits so far of the year. And I haven't watched anything in theaters. You know how upsetting that is to me? When I literally started last year watching a movie, like a Mystery Monday movie, in 2024. Upsetting. Anyway, the amount of movies I actually reviewed, like wrote a review for, were 17 out of the 140 movies that I watched this past year. And then in terms of hours, 140 films roughly equals 254 hours watched, which is beautiful. I absolutely love that. Now for the most coveted titles. My most fucking watched actor, bro. I didn't even mean to do this on purpose. It's literally because my roommates are obsessed. And by roommates, I mean just one in particular, Dom. She's obsessed with Kyle Gallner. Yeah, Kyle Gallner. Look him up if you don't know who I'm talking about. He was in the first Smile movie. He's like he's like the police officer in the first Smile movie. He's also in the second one in the beginning. But I saw so many movies with him in it because my roommate was so obsessed, and also my friend Monica. So my roommate Dom and my friend Monica were absolutely obsessed with Kyle Gallner. They love Kyle Gallner. They were trying to watch every single fucking movie that he was in. It doesn't matter if it was good or bad. They wanted to watch all of the movies he was in. They didn't get to it, but they did see a lot, to the point where I had him as my most watched actor. I wish it told you exactly how many movies that, like, your most watched actor was in that you logged. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's probably at least 4 or 5 of the 140 movies I watched where he is in it. And I do think he is hot. Like, I'm not disagreeing with them by any means. I just can't believe he's my most watched actor because of it. And for the next category, I'm actually so fucking pissed. Most watched director. I'm really upset that this is my most watched director because I didn't want it to be. I really didn't, but it just so happened to fall that way. But Damien Leone, if you don't know who Damien Leone is, he's the director of all of the Terrifier movies, and I believe I watched all of them last year. I don't know how he became my most watched director. I'm going to be honest. It kind of upset me to find out that's who it was. I was like, I already knew just from the name that it was him, and I was so upset because I didn't want him to be. I don't want the director of Terrifier movies to be my most watched director because that just sits wrong with me. A man who makes gore porn was my most watched director. I don't even fuck with gore porn like that. And yet, here we are, unfortunately. So those are my most watched director and actors. For my most highly rated films, I already mentioned them literally in the last episode. Smile 2, 5 fucking stars. My Old Ass, 5 stars. Blink Twice, 4.5. I don't know what, made them pick these 3, because I know that I had to have had at least more 5-star movies last year. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I really only had 2. But I don't know how they picked those. But those are my 3 most highly rated movies. And then comes like the really good statistics of what week I watched the most amount of movies in. And apparently it's going to be the weekend, like the week of the end of February going into March. February 26th to March 3rd, or the 9th week of the year, I watched 8 movies. I wish I knew what they were. I could look into it, but I'm really not going to. I don't have the time to be doing that. But 8 films in 1 week. That's more than a movie a day, technically, in a week. My most watched day of 2024 from Monday through Saturday, or Sunday, is going to be Saturdays. I watch the most amount of movies on Saturdays, which makes sense because for the most part last year, I would have Sundays off usually. And if I didn't, at least Saturdays worked for everybody. So I get that. I watched 30 movies in the entirety of 2024 on Saturdays. So that means more than half of the year, I was watching a movie on Saturday every week. That's crazy to me. Like, it looks like the second closest would have been Sunday. The weekend is just a really good time to watch movies, you know? What can I say? My first watch of the year, last year, January 1st, was Founders Day. Terrible movie. Hated it. Waste of my money. Really made me come to the consensus that mystery movies are not worth watching because most of them are going to be like the worst movies you've ever seen in your life. I learned that in 2023, and I still went into it with high hopes in 2024. And my last mystery movie ever was Founders Day on January 1st. And then my last movie that I watched was on December 30th, and it was The Holdovers. And it was a rewatch because I love The Holdovers. And I wanted to watch a movie about New Year's Eve, and they included in that movie. So I would recommend watching it if you haven't. It's a really good movie. And then some diary milestones. I love when they do these. The 50th movie I watched in the year 2024 was Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was getting ready for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I believe. Or I just wanted to watch Guardians of the Galaxy randomly on May 19th. And then my 100th movie was September 22nd, The Passenger, with, you guessed it, Kyle Gallner. And I didn't even really like that movie. I can't believe that was my 100th movie. That's so upsetting to me. My most watched theme is laugh out loud relationship entanglements. There was a lot of movies like that last year, so I'm not surprised. Like, the first one that comes to mind is the one with Sydney Sweeney and fucking Glenn Powell. I don't know why his name just like left my brain for a second, but I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. That makes sense. And my most watched nano genre was animation, jokes, and cute, which that sums it up too. Like, I think that might be the best explanation for that nano genre. So that's my Letterboxd 2024 recapped. Now that I have mentioned it on this podcast, I will post it on Instagram later because people love to see what I have to say about movies. I just love that people love that about me. You know, I just really like movies. Do my reviews always like mirror the public's? No. I do have a lot to think and say about movies, unfortunately. And whether you care to listen or not, I will continue talking about movies for the rest of my fucking life. Like I mentioned in like several episodes back, if I could become a movie reviewer for my career, I fucking would, because I don't mind writing about movies and talking about movies and discussing every single aspect about movies. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things to do after watching a movie, and then it's one of my favorite things to just think about randomly, just analyzing different parts of movies. It's just a little quirk I have. I'm just so quirky. I'm just so crazy and awesome. Wow, wasn't that a lot of blabbing just to get to the real portion of this podcast, which is going to be talking about my empties of the year? Yes, I talk too fucking much, but that's what this podcast is about and for. So, quick preface. I don't remember when I started collecting empties. I'm gonna say it probably started like middle of 2024, and I've been housing all of it in a bag. Really, I was housing all of it in like the trash can of my room for the majority of the year, and then I just kind of wanted to throw out the trash in my room because it was just too much. So I separated what was an empty and what wasn't, and I kept the empties in the bag, and that bag is already overflowing, and I have shit sitting out of it currently that I'm going to dive into first. But these empties range from anything like medication, skincare. It's mostly going to be skincare, body care, hair care, whatever. But let's fucking get into it, because I'm sick of the bag sitting here and I'm ready to throw it away. I'm going to be honest. Let me start grabbing everything and I'll be right back. All right, for those of you watching, here's my bag of empties. I have to rip open the bag because it's double knotted, of course. All right, I'm gonna start with what's not in the bag, which are a lot of pills, like pill bottles. I'm not crazy, I promise. I really mostly take multivitamins and vitamins in general, so that's what a lot of my pill bottles are. But this is actually my first one, and it is just medication. I have a lot of empty pill bottles in here. A lot of these specifically. It is for my appetite suppressant, because they only give me 30, and you're supposed to take one a day, so I gotta get one every month. It's really fucking annoying. Then I have a Target Up and Up women's probiotic supplement. You're probably going to see a lot of probiotic supplements because I love to pretend like they work. I feel like they do in a way, because not only is it for promoting like vaginal health, but it's for your gut health too. Like, and when your gut health is really good, then your skin is really good. So I do give a fuck about probiotics, unfortunately. Not just for the cooter health, but for the overall health. This one is specifically a 30 count. It was $20. That's the thing about probiotics I also fucking hate. Why do they have to be so expensive for 1 month supply? Like, don't piss me the fuck off. That is why I don't get them so often. I only get them when I have some money lying around where I'm like, you know what, let me treat myself for a month. Probiotic. Next empty is actually one I just finished today. It is also an Up and Up brand, and it is a multivitamin for women. And I take a multivitamin every day because I don't really eat a lot. So any vitamins or minerals that I might miss out on in my food, I can at least know that I have had almost my daily value percentage. Like this one particular is actually really, really good in comparison to like a lot of other multivitamins, because not only is it like really fucking affordable, it comes with 120 tablets. You take one a day, and then you're also getting more than 100% of your daily value of most like the most important like vitamins that you need to take every day, like vitamin A, vitamin C. I can keep going on, but like I'm personally, in the past, I've been anemic, so I like to find multivitamins that have a good amount of iron in them, so then that way I know for sure, like, that won't ever be a problem for me ever again, because I don't like having low iron. I don't want to have to pass out again, So this one in particular has 100% of your daily value, which is perfect. But I think they, like, reformulated or rebranded, so, because I just bought some more since I ran out of this, and they look different. The pills look different. The amount is different. I haven't looked at the actual, like, serving size or like the supplement facts, but they might be different. I don't know. But also, I do have to say, vitamins are kind of a scam, but I don't give a fuck because I love getting scammed type shit. Like, yes, some vitamins are not FDA approved, so really they could be just placebo. And you know what? Sometimes I'd gladly pay for them, you know? How many times am I going to say you know in a sentence? But yeah, those are those. I don't even know where I'm going to start putting stuff because I don't have the space right now. I'm going to set it on my desk, I guess. This one is the Bioma Smoothing Body Polish. Oh my god, I almost hit myself in the face with it. Bioma Smoothing Body Polish. Highly, highly recommend. I am the type of person that does not like super harsh, aggressive scrubs. Like, personally, I fucking despise Tree Hut scrubs because they irritate my skin. They're too abrasive. And as much as I love a Dove scrub, I don't want to support Dove because Dove supports Israel. So, I mean, the parent company that owns Dove supports Israel. So, it sucked to have to not buy Dove ever again. I love Dove body wash to death. It's my favorite thing. It's like the most hydrating, the best smelling, the best quality for your like budget. Like, it's just really good. So I've had to branch out a lot this year with scrubs, and the one I've just found to work the best is the Bioma one because it has so many good benefits and it's really good for the price. It lasts for quite a while. Like, I was using this every 2 or 3 days and it lasted me for I think like 2 months, which is really good. I like that it has a pump. I hate digging into something for a scrub, and I also hate having to squeeze a bottle. So like if there's a pump, I'm fucking with it heavy. It has prebiotic complex, PHA, panthenol, which is really, really good for your skin. It also on the side does say all of the ingredients that it has and all of the purposes for it. So there's a lot of good exfoliators in here. There's pumice, there's gluconolactone. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that is. It's also just like not super, super abrasive. It's more of like a chemical vibe of scrub than an actual physical abrasive scrub. And I will always choose a chemical scrub over an actual physical scrub because I know that this is going to work, no doubt. So anytime anyone asks me for a scrub recommendation, I would tell you Bioma. It's really good. The smell is a little citrus, which I'm not a fucking fan of, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll use it regardless. Next, I'm gonna literally dig into this bag. First off, right off the bat, finding, and I'm sure there's more probably in this bag, a bunch of empty pimple patches. God, I wish I could tell you how many pimple patches I went through in the year 2024. Too many. And also, the cool thing is, at my job at Target, we get samples every month that we're supposed to give out to guests. So next time you're at Target and you pass by the beauty section, ask them if you could have samples because sometimes they do. They're supposed to give them to you. They're free. They get them every month, so if they said that they don't have samples, they're either lying or they ran out. But anywho, I got like a lot of these free little Mighty Patch trial sets. They're like, it's literally like, it comes with 6 patches, and I will just grab a handful of them and take them home because there's no limit on how many of the samples you can take. So I'll just take a bunch. And then, so I have the Mighty Patch Invisible and then the original. I fuck with both of them. I think they're pretty good. I would never want to justify paying for these now that I know that I can get them for free. Like, I will never buy them ever in my life. I like them. I think they work very well. In the realm of pimple patches, I would give them definitely like slightly above average working wise. Like, it gets the gunk out. I've had multiple pimples where it gets the gunk out and it works very well, and it does diminish their size and makes them flat, which is nice. Starface would rate very low. I have had pimples go away with Starface, but it doesn't work as well. It's purely decorative, honestly. If I were to get Starface pimple patches again, they don't work as well. I think also just the shape that they're in is a very inconvenient shape for a pimple patch, which also just further proves my point that they just have to be a purely cosmetic, like for funsies sort of pimple patch. I don't know why I went on a pimple patch tangent. I just thought everyone should know because I do get asked a lot at work, like what pimple patches I recommend, and I usually don't recommend the Starface ones unless you just want it to look pretty for the day. This one, I wish we carried this brand at Target because it's only at Ulta, and it is like the supposed to be generic, like kind of cheaper version of Peach and Lily. If anyone knows that brand, it's more of like a higher end prestige skincare brand, Peach and Lily. They have a drugstore generic cheaper version called Peach Slices. The company that owns Peach and Lily owns Peach Slices. So they're basically the same thing. It's kind of like how L'Oreal owns like Redken and a bunch of other hair brands like Kerastase and you name it. So really, like some of the like drugstore L'Oreal shampoo, conditioner, hair products like live up to Redken's because they are literally made by the same company, same brand, same everything. So they're pretty similar. It's just the price. Life hack. There's so many parent companies. Like, look into it. Most of the parent companies that you might not think own a company own it, if that makes sense. Yeah, these Peach Slices, acne spot dots, 60 count, this shit lasts you ages, and it's only $6. I fuck with these heavy. I think that these and the Mighty Patch, like Hero Mighty Patch pimple patches are like kind of on the same level. I think I would rate this one slightly higher, because most times I had a pimple with this, it would go away. And I like the option of having different pimple patch sizes, and this has 3 different pimple patch sizes. So if you have like a really tiny one and you don't want to have to waste a fucking ginormous pimple patch, like this is really good variation. I'm going to stop talking about pimple patches now. Next empty is Hearth and Hand Willow Room Spray. It's almost empty. I could not empty it out because the nozzle stopped spraying because of how little there is left, but it smells so good. It smells clean. It smells like lavender in a way. I really fuck with this. Like, if you get the chance to smell this room spray, Hearth and Hand Willow, please do, because it smells amazing. I love spraying it around my room. I haven't repurchased it though, so yeah, if that says anything. Next thing is the Naturium Vitamin C Complex Serum. I love making. I hope you can hear that. I like this vitamin C serum. For the price, I would say it's like kind of mid. I can't remember how much this was. I think it's like $15. I do like that it's in a pump as opposed to like a dropper form. Like, I think it can definitely live up to some higher end vitamin C's. I have tried like at least like 10 different brands of vitamin C, and this one is definitely up there. I'd probably say out of 5, I would give it like a 3. It feels nice going on. It works. It brightens. It fades hyperpigmentation, which is good. Are there better ones out there though? Yes. And whenever I empty those out, I'll let you know what they are. But this is a pretty good, affordable option if you don't know what to look for when you're at Target or Ulta for vitamin C serum. I would recommend. Next is Equate Glacial Mint Fresh Breath Oral Rinse. It is the Walmart version of TheraBreath. I wish Target had something like this, because the first time I saw this at Walmart, I was like, no fucking way they duped TheraBreath. And it's not bad. It lasted me quite a while because it is TheraBreath. It's like a mouthwash. I only use mouthwash once a day. But it lasts me a good amount of time. Does it compare flavor-wise? It's kind of like in that same realm. I wouldn't say I prefer it or hate it. It's just a good option if you don't want to spend the money on a TheraBreath, but you're at Walmart and you see these. You should get, for sure. You should try it out. It's not a bad idea. I think it was pretty good. Those were like so many words I just said about mouthwash. I can't believe that. Next, sunscreen. This was my most recent empty sunscreen. It's the COSRX Vitamin E Vitalizing Sunscreen with tocopherol? I don't know. Tocopherol. It has vitamin E in it, my God. And it's SPF 50. I got this at Ulta. I think it was, like, I had some, it was, like, on sale, so I think I ended up getting it for, like, $14. I think it's, like, originally, like, almost 20, but it is a good Korean skincare brand overall. This is the same brand that makes the iconic snail mucin. That's why I wanted to try it, because I was like, I've always wanted to try their other skincare products, but I'd never gotten around to it. And when I saw this was on sale, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try it out. It's pretty good. No white cast, does not break me out, don't smell it, doesn't feel greasy or like heavy on my skin. It's really good. It's very nice. You can wear it on its own with no problem. I had no problem wearing it on its own, but kind of in the winter months I started wearing it more with sunscreen, and I did fuck with it heavy. It blends really well with moisturizer, and it's really good layered on top. It doesn't pill. No bad things to say about this sunscreen. I liked it. Unfortunately, though, I won't be repurchasing it because there's just so many different skincare products in this world that when I run out of one, I always buy a different brand, a different something of whatever I ran out of, because I like to try different things. And it's nice to just try things out and not stick to the same thing, because there's so many options out there. And what if you end up finding something better? Anyways. Next sunscreen is going to be the NYX Blur Screen Primer. Yes, this is a primer with sunscreen in it, but I only used it as a sunscreen. And I would say it's quite meh. It doesn't leave a white cast, which is nice. It does feel a little tacky on the skin, which makes sense because it, again, is a primer. Would I say it's blurring? I don't know. I didn't feel like it made that much more of a difference in my skin. It did last me quite a while. Like, when I thought I was running out of it, I really wasn't, which is crazy, but I do like. I think it is very good for primer. It did keep my makeup on all day, so I will give it that. That's my thoughts on that. Next, sunscreen. Can you tell I go through sunscreen? Like, very often. I don't know how many more sunscreens there are in here, but I just keep finding more. This one, though, ooh, this is worth your money for sure. The Kiehl's Better Screen UV Serum Sunscreen with Collagen Peptide SPF 50 Plus. This is a dream. I love this sunscreen. I would repurchase it if I wanted to spend that much money on it. I think it was like $30. And this is the smaller size, I believe. They do come in bigger sizes than this, crazy enough. But very good. Made my skin feel really nice. And it is a serum-like texture, so it's very thin, which might make you want to put less on because it's a serum, but it's a sunscreen, so you got to put like a good amount on. Blends really well with makeup and other skincare. I had no issues with it. I really fuck with this heavy. It's good for any skin type, by the way. If you're old, if you're young, if you're oily, if you're dry, if you're combo, it works no matter what. It's really fucking good. And I didn't want to have to like it because Kiehl's is just so fucking expensive, but I do approve, unfortunately, of this sunscreen. I like. Next up, turmeric vitamins from Target, Up and Up. 150 count. Why did I start taking these? I think just to try to see if it would do anything for my skin, because I know that turmeric is like a really good thing to consume if you want like glowy skin. Can't tell if I noticed that much of a difference. now that I haven't taken it for a while, my skin didn't feel like any clearer or like shinier than normal. So I don't know how I feel about turmeric, but it also says on here that it may help maintain a healthy heart and cardiovascular system. So I guess in that sense it's nice to use, but I don't think that I would repurchase it. It's like just quite okay. If it works for you, it works for you, but I honestly don't think it made like that much more of a difference in my skin. DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. This is when I started going into my double cleansing phase of the year where I used oil cleansers. So I have a lot of oil cleansers in here. This DHC Deep Cleansing Oil, super fucking good. This is $15 and it's 2.3 ounces. You'd think with such a small amount that you'll go through this like crazy. I went through this, I think I literally had it for like a month or two. Maybe even longer. I can't remember, but I got it at Target. I only used like 2 pumps of this, and it takes off literally any makeup. I never had any makeup residue. Like some oil cleansers that I have tried will not clean all the way. Like it doesn't matter how much you take off, it will still like I'll still see mascara on my eyes. Like not on my lashes, but like smudged on my eyelids. So I found that this was the best. It does have a little bit of a weird smell, but I don't care. It's very good, and I did enjoy using it very much. I would buy it again if it wasn't in such a tiny ass fucking container. Oh, here we have another pill bottle, and it is another refill of my appetizer present. Next, La Roche-Posay Effaclar Adapalene Gel 0.1% acne treatment. I've had this forever. I tried to empty this, I'm not even kidding you, since last year. I'm pretty sure I had to have bought this sometime in 2023 because this shit's old as fuck. I've had it with me for ages, and it takes you a while to get through. I really liked it. I think it works very well. It's supposed to be a retinoid. You can put it on your pimples. They do go away. The price, though, $32 for this, which in hindsight makes sense because you are going to have this for so long and you don't really need to be putting on a lot. Like you literally just put like a pea-size amount and then you put that all over your face. So you're going to have this last you for a really long time. It does work, and it makes your skin look really nice. So I'd recommend. Next, we have the VH Essentials Boric Acid and Prebiotics Feminine Foaming Wash. This was from Walmart. This lasted me forever. For it being a foaming downstairs wash, damn, this lasted ages. I did like it. I found it to be very nice and clean. Like it cleanses very well. It doesn't have a smell. Everything felt great down there. No issues. Boric acid is really good for getting rid of a lot of different things. So I'd recommend. I have no issues with it. Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. I got this for free from Ulta. Full size, by the way. I think this retails for like $40. Do I think it made a difference in my skin? Not really. It's supposed to just give you glass skin and like in the sense, I think it has like niacinamide, it has peach extract, wild yam, hyaluronic acid, peptides. So it's supposed to, just kind of plump up your skin, clear out your skin a little bit, but honestly, I didn't really feel like it made my skin that much more clear or gave it a glass skin finish, but honestly, that could just be the hyaluronic acid making your skin like plumper. It was like, there's definitely other stuff that you can try that's better, and I'm pretty sure Peach Slices has something similar to the glass skin refining serum that is cheaper, so you don't have to spend your money on that shit, bro. Next, I found this teeny tiny little tester travel size version of La Roche-Posay Melody 3 Serum Dark Spot Corrector. This shit, oh my god. I've never bought the full size version of this, but damn, this thing, I would justify it because I believe the full size is like $36. This is really, really good at fading dark spots like crazy. You can put this on your skin even if you have active breakouts, and this shit will get rid of it the next day. Like, this serum is heaven sent. If I were to spend money on an expensive or like a good serum, it would be this one, the Melody 3 Serum from La Roche. I think I have like 2 of these in here. It's really, really fucking good. Then I have a Art Naturals Vitamin C Serum. This serum is worth it. This is one of the best drugstore serums, like vitamin C serums that you can buy. And it's only $15. And it lasts you ages, bro. Like, this was good. I find this one to be better than the Naturium one I mentioned previously. Like, this is liquid gold, as they claim. I liked. Next up, trying to get it out. Cocoa Kind Chlorophyll Discoloration Serum. I found this to work for sure. It's good at calming the skin. It's good at, getting rid of that redness. But I wish it was stronger in getting rid of that redness quicker, because it has 1% alpha-arbutin, which is supposed to help with redness. I just feel like for the price that this was, which I bought it at Ulta, which things at Ulta are just much more expensive than like even at Target. Because I'm pretty sure at Target we sell this for like $15, and at Target or at Ulta, I spent $20. But it's 1 fluid ounce, and it lasted me quite a bit of time. Like, I would just mix this in with like some hyaluronic acid or like my snail mucin, and it would make my skin super nice and glowy. This gave me better glass skin, I would say, than the Peach and Lily glass skin serum, TBH. What else? I have chlorella or chlorophyll, because apparently, like, I wanted to try out the benefits that come with chlorophyll, which is like, it's supposed to give you really good skin. It's supposed to kind of just clear out any toxins in your body and makes you not stink at all. Would I say that those things are true? I'd say, yeah, in a way for sure. I felt like it helped with my skin. I honestly can't remember much else about this. Like, I don't know if I'd try it again, but it is good in the sense of helping your skin out. That's all I have to say on that. I truly can't remember anything else about it. I need to go through this quicker because I have so many more things in here and I'm not even done. Habit, I think it's Health by Habit or just Habit. PMS support, empty. I tried this out because I wanted to see if it would help with my hormonal acne that I get around my jaw, especially when I'm on my period. It gets really bad, but I also just wanted to see if it would help, like, with PMS. I would say yes. It's nice. It does help. It does help with stress, and it does help with PMS, but I wouldn't buy it again because there's 30 servings per container, and you have to take 2 capsules a day. So, and it's 60 capsules, so you go through this literally in a month. It's unfortunate. But it is worth trying out if you are curious if it works. I found it to work personally. And I found that it helped with my hormonal acne a little bit. Then we have a fave for sure. I have this in a travel size. I liked it so much. I think I bought it twice because I liked it again so much. The First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub with 10% AHA, and it's the strawberry scented one. I love this shit. I hate how it's so fucking expensive, but I found it to be really, really worth it. This is on the I hit the microphone, I'm so sorry. This is more on the abrasive side compared to the Bioma one, but I did like that. I would like this more than a Tree Hut scrub for sure. This is just like pure chemical exfoliant, but also physical exfoliant, and I did like the smell of this one more than the original. The original stinks, in my opinion. So I'm glad that they made this in a strawberry scent because it made me fuck with it heavy. Really good for strawberry skin when on your legs or even on your arms. And it helped out with any bumps that I had, for sure. I hit my microphone again. I'm so sorry. I'm running out of space of places to put this stuff. I'm sorry. Amazon package delivered. Next up is something that I was forced to buy. Just kidding. I was just like coerced by the internet to try out. It's the L'Occitane shower oil in almond. Now, I hate the smell of this, actually. This made me realize I hate almond scented things. A lot of people loved that about this body oil shower thing. It's a body wash, but it's also a shower oil at the same time. It like emulsifies into a body wash, but it's very, very hydrating. It's very good. I just do not like the smell. And it's also just not worth it for the price. I ended up like not even wanting to use this as body wash. I would only use it when I was shaving my legs because it's really, really good as like a shaving oil. It's very hydrating in that sense. But I would not repurchase it just for the smell alone. It took me forever to get through because I could not handle how bad the smell was. Let's see. Trying to rapid fire. L'Oreal Elvive 8-Second Wonder Water. I know that I was just talking shit about L'Oreal and like supporting Israel and shit like that, but I did just really want to try this so bad because the internet again pushed me onto it. I found this to be really, really good. This is like supposed to be like a kind of drugstore version of a gloss. It's supposed to make your hair shiny, stronger, and it has protein in it. So if you have curly hair, it's really good for that. I found it does have a lot of alcohols in it, so it might be a little drying for some people's hair type, but it's really, really nice. And it lasted me a month because it has like the amount that you're supposed to use every time, but like I have a lot of hair and my hair is very dense, so I would use a little bit more than what it was suggesting. Liked it, loved the smell. I would repurchase again, unfortunately, but I would try a different version. I know there's a bunch of different L'Oreal like waters like this that are supposed to be like glosses in a way. So yeah, but I would recommend it if you're looking for something like that. Next one, another thing that TikTok made me buy, Bioderma micellar cleansing oil. We sell these at Target and they're very hard to get in stock. Lately, not as much because I think the hype for them has died down, but this was supposed to be like the end all be all high end, or like the drugstore, like the best drugstore cleansing oil you could buy. I was not really that much of a fan of it, to be honest with you. I found it to take my makeup off very well, but I think it was breaking me out. I don't know if it is non-comedogenic, because if it is, I don't know why my skin was still breaking out because of it, but that's why I wouldn't repurchase it, simply because I felt like it was making me break out. But it is a good makeup remover cleansing oil situation if you were into that. And it lasted me quite some time. Next, this took me forever to get rid of. I could not empty this for the life of me. Paul Mitchell Tea Tree Special Color Shampoo. I asked my hairdresser what dandruff shampoo would be a good choice for someone with like color treated hair, because at the time I'd just gotten my hair dyed and I still needed like a recommendation for a dandruff shampoo, and he recommended this one specifically, and I do like it, but it isn't my favorite that I've ever tried. It also just says anti-fade. I don't know if that's really true. I feel like I would still see my hair color go down the drain when I use this, but it does feel really nice on the skin, like on your scalp. It's okay-ish with dandruff. It's just not my favorite. Then I have the Sol de Janeiro Balm Dia Bright Body Wash, clarifying AHA, BHA body wash. I only bought this because of the smell, not even because it was like a clarifying body wash. I wouldn't say it did too much in that aspect. I did use it sometimes. It made my skin feel nice, I actually will say. I would rather just use an actual chemical like exfoliant compared to just this body wash. But if you're looking for something in that realm, like this is a good option. It just is a little bit more on the pricey side. I also just found the smell not to last very long on my skin afterwards. You kind of just needed like the Sol de Janeiro lotion to make it really capture it all. I'm running out of space. Oh my god. Then I have the Naturium KP Body Scrub and Mask. I bought this like after I purchased the First Aid Beauty one twice. I was like, I can't justify spending like so much money on the old like First Aid Beauty one. Like I want to try a different one that's in the similar style. I found this one to work really well. I think it's a really good dupe for the First Aid Beauty. It is fragrance free. It does not have a weird smell to it. It is like almost the exact same consistency. And I found it to work just as well. I had no issues with it. So if you are looking for a dupe for it, the Naturium one's got your back for sure. Okay, running out of space. I went through, and I know this is probably not even true. I probably went through so many of these. Sterile saline wound wash. Because I got so many piercings last year and I was always cleaning them every day. I've definitely gone through at least 4 bottles of saline solution in the year 2024. And I know I can only continue doing that more because I'm definitely getting more piercings this year. But if you are looking for a good saline wash for your piercings, I would get the one from Target, Up and Up, because it has the most amount and it lasts at least 3 months. For me, it has lasted more than 3 months. So I would definitely recommend if you're looking for a good saline wash. The La Roche-Posay Purifying Foaming Cleanser. I am a diehard La Roche Purifying Foaming Cleanser fan. This is like I think my 2nd or 3rd bottle ever. I love how long it lasts for the value. It's really good. I find it to be really good at cleaning my skin without drying it or like causing more acne to form. Right now I'm trying one of their Effaclar version of this face wash, and I think they're comparable. I would say I think I like the Effaclar one more than this one, but they are good, and I did enjoy using this. I always do. Another appetite suppressant bottle. We're getting into the tiny things now. I have Kiehl's Rare Earth Deep Pore Cleansing Mask. I really fucked with this, unfortunately. This is a travel size version, so it's not even like as big as it comes. I liked using this when I felt like my skin was just like kind of clogged. It's really, really good for helping with that. As it says, it purifies and minimizes pores. So I do fuck with this. It is good in that aspect. Smells okay. I have no issues with it. I would repurchase if it wasn't expensive. I'm pretty sure like just this size alone, the 0.95 fluid ounces is like almost $30. So it's not worth it in that aspect. I'm sure you can find better clay masks, but that one is just really good. Then I have e.l.f. Holy Hydration Gel Yeah Moisturizer. I did like this moisturizer. I just don't like, I think I learned because of this moisturizer, I do not like gel moisturizers. I know that they're supposed to be like a good alternative for people with like oily skin, but I don't know. I think also just because I tried it in the summer, so like it did feel nice and hydrating, but it was just too much. Like I like a more creamy moisturizer. But if you are looking for a gel-based moisturizer, this is a good dupe for like the Neutrogena Hydra Boost. And you're not supporting Israel. So it's a good alternative. I think it's also only like $6 or $7. Like it's really, really good. And it lasts quite a long time. Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. This is a travel size. Took me forever to get through this. I liked it. I wouldn't repurchase though. There's definitely other brow products that are better. At the moment, I'm a really big fan of the Kosas Brow Lamination Gel. I fuck with that. Super heavy. I think that might be like the best brow product I've ever tried to like really keep your brows locked in place. So I would prefer that over this. And I have the Coco Kind Revitalizing Eye Cream. This shit took me ages to get through. And it's like kind of okay. It's not my favorite, but it's apparently like one of the best drugstore eye creams that you could buy. I mainly bought it because of the applicator, because it's like a metal applicator, and I really wanted something like that. So it's really good. It's $20, lasts you several months. So in that aspect, I'd recommend it, but it's like a just normal baseline eye cream, honestly. This next eye cream I didn't really fuck with. I just used it because it was free from Ulta, but it's a Clinique All About Eyes eye cream. It's supposed to reduce circles, puffs, and whatever else. It was like meh, nothing to write home about. I think I'd prefer the cocoa kind to the Clinique one, honestly. And then the two last things I have in here are both little perfume samples, and they're from like a perfume kit I got like in 2023 from Ulta that came with like a bunch of little perfume samplers. And it's the Versace Bright Crystal. Hate this. Don't think it smells good. Then the Jean Paul Gaultier Label. This, I honestly wish I bought a full size of this. This is such a good perfume. It's like very rose floral, but like it smells so good and like unique from anything else I've ever smelled. I fuck with this heavy. I would get the full size of this if I could. And that's it. Those are my freaking empties. That alone took way too long, and I feel like this podcast episode is going to be ages long. It's just so much talking. Like, I can't believe it's so late, and I still have to eat breakfast after this and put this video up. And podcast episode, the audio. This was crazy. I can't believe I had this many empties in this bag. I really didn't think I filled it that much, but I guess I really fucking did. Like, this shit's packed as hell. But yeah, that was this week's brain dump. A lot to dump on this brain, if you know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm saying. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This extra super long, nice episode for you guys. As much as I really, really did enjoy this. Maybe I should just do more empties more often, so I don't have to make it a more than hour-long episode. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to listen and watch. If you got up until this point, you're awesome and epic, and I love you, and I'm giving you a kiss on the lips tonight. I hope you're ready, because I'm coming, and I'm going to give you a kiss. I smooched, and I'm just going to, like, you're beautiful, and I love you. Thank you for sticking around. That's it. My hands are freezing cold. I have trash all over my room now because these are all empty. But I can finally throw them away, so I'm really proud and happy about that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this week's episode of Brain Dump. I love you, and I will definitely be seeing you next week. And you better be there, because it's going to be a good one. Do I know what it's about yet? No, but I'm just hoping it will be. So, yeah. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.